Hello everyone, welcome back to the last episode of this series. Today we'll just finish up the project with some small fixes and additions. But first of all, I'm just gonna change over this register to login. So I'm gonna go to pages, auth, login, change this over to login. And I wanna do another fix for an issue I had earlier on. I can't seem, this issue where you click login, but it just redirects you off to the home page for some reason. The fix is that you go in the store, create a new file called auth.js, and then in here we're just gonna go, set up our getters. And just set up the base state of this validation, of the authentication. So say user return state.user, and then last of all we're just going to export the state. And this is going to say busy is false, logged in is false, strategy local, and the user is also false. So this will make sure that that doesn't happen anymore, and yeah. So next of all, we're going to look at our user mixin. So we're going to go into plugins, mixins, then in here we're going to create a user.js file, and I'm just going to copy this in here because it's essentially going to be the same except for this part. User is going to be auth/user, and authenticated is going to be auth/authenticated. And then we're going to go into nuxt-config and just have this plugin in here, plugins, mixins, user, and I want to bring this to the top just to make it a little bit more tidy. Then I'm just going to restart my server so that it picks up this new plugin. Alright, so it has restarted my server, and if I go, actually I can just reference it in the templates. So if I go into, let's say, index, and instead of home I just add a p tag here and say authenticated, say false, and user it's also false. So we can see that that has worked. What I want to do now is add a middleware, a guest middleware. We already have an auth middleware by default, but we also want to make sure that logged in users can go to register and login because that's unnecessary. So in here we'll say export, store, and redirect. And what we're going to say here, if store.getters auth/authenticated, then we're going to redirect to the home page. So if the user is logged in, we're just redirecting them to the home page. That's all this is going to do. And that is that. And we just want to make sure that that is going to be used in here. So we're going to say middleware guest, and we'll say that for register as well. So if that has worked, I can now still go there, but if I just log in here, so now if I can go there, it just doesn't redirect me. So that is good. The next thing I want to look at is changing our navbar so that we can log out. And the navbar is in layouts, partials, top nav, and if I just add script here for later, and I want to change this over to have a condition. So I'm just going to move this in here and say fee if authenticated and here else. Alright, so now in here we're gonna add the thing that's going to be run when we are authenticated. So we are using the view bootstrap thing. So what we can say is b nav item dropdown, and then we can say template slot is the content, and then in here we can say user.name. So this is going to echo out the name of the user, and then we say b dropdown item and then I want to attach a function to that later, but right now I'm just going to say sign out to see if we can view it. Alright, so yeah, that's my username, or my name actually, and then it just says sign out here. Nothing happens when I click it, but I'll add that now. So methods sign out, that is just going to process this .auth.logout. So I'm just going to add click.prevent sign out. Alright, so now if I sign out, it signs me out, but I saw a red thing, API. Alright, so I think we have something wrong in our config. Let's just see. Yeah, this should be auth/logout. Alright, so now it should work if I log in again. Test 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just take a look at my network tab, log out, and it has worked. So we got logging in and registering done. Now we just want to protect this dashboard route from people logging into it. And the way I'm going to do that is just go into dashboard.view and do the exact same thing as I did with the guest routes, and I'm just going to say auth. So now, people can't visit the dashboard route, so it might be good to not show it to those people. So in here we're just going to say if authenticated, and that's going to get rid of it until we actually log in. So the next thing, or the last thing I want to do, is make sure that if I visit the dashboard route, when I'm not logged in, and then I log in, it goes back to that route. And there is a fix for that, because previously it would work easier, but I guess stuff broke. But this is a workaround someone made, so we're going to use that. Auth.js, and that needs to go into our plugins directory. So in here I'm going to say auth.js and just paste this right in. Close everything off. And in nux.js, in the auth object, we're just going to say plugins, and then we're going to say plugin/auth, and when we restart our server, we should see that a redirect parameter should be added here when we try to go to that route. Alright, so let's try it out. Dashboard, and as you can see, it just added the redirect parameter to here. So what we need to do now is just make sure that that gets used. So in our login function, what we can just say is we can just say to the router to push not to this name index, and we can replace that with this route.query.redirect. If that exists, we're going to redirect to that redirect query, and otherwise we're just going to redirect to index, which is /. Alright, so let's try it out. Dashboard, just going to log in. Alright, that has worked. It has redirected us to the dashboard. Let's see if we can echo the name there, just to as a last little thing to do. Welcome to the dashboard, user.name. Welcome to your dashboard. As you can see, it's all working. We got easy access to our user, to the authenticated state, and we can protect our routes with middlewares and everything. So yeah, thank you for watching the series. Yeah, let me know what you want to view next. I've had a few suggestions. I have one suggestion actually for adding Socialite, which I might look into. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next series. Thank you for watching. Bye.